So on my quest for the best Minecraft ray tracing maps, I decided to make my way through the PC Bedrock marketplace, and the goal is to hopefully play all of them. So far I have played the Neon District, Hilltop Lifestyle and Medieval. Although some of the visuals and ray tracing effects are amazing, the gameplay elements for survival have been nothing to write home about. For today I found a completely different kind of ray tracing map called Portal Pioneers, and interestingly enough this actually follows a story. I debated whether or not I should post this, but I actually thought that the world looked good, so here it is.
Rift sequence completed. Receiving profile data. Greetings, Explorer. You have been tasked with analyzing the various alien ecosystems that are linked between the rifts located on this planet. Please be aware of danger. Equipment is advised. Locate the chief operator of the research facility for further information.
So the whole premise here is to try and find components to some sort of contraption. It is your typical scavenger hunt, and I usually do not enjoy it as I always get lost, but since I was curious about the ray tracing effects on this map, I thought that I would give it a try. You will find boxes with all kinds of supplies lying around, and usually they just consist of your typical food resources. They also include a few useful weapons that will be needed a bit later on in the game to fight creatures. I tried to gather as many resources as I could, especially food, since I did not want to go hungry and ruin my exploring experience. Now when it comes to the actual map and my first impression in terms of visuals, I have to say nothing immediately stood out, but it also is worth pointing out that I was still inside of a structure. I expected that the world outside would be much better when it comes to RTX resources and effects. Inside you had your typical light reflections and nothing more. I know that this is a pre-built playthrough of the map, so you won't be getting any of this in an actual survival game, but for me it was still more about the ray tracing itself. Since I can't really judge this map, I thought that it was good to just take a look at some of the effects. You might not be able to compare this to your typical survival world, but you can still look at some of the blocks and how it compares to other maps that was played previously, as well as exactly how they are making use of the natural rays. For now though, I was more concerned about stocking up since I did not know exactly what to expect outside.
Let me be the first to welcome you to this alien planet. Oh, you might have noticed that robot over there. Well, how should I say? Someone stole his GPU card because of the robot's sarcastic programming. Unfortunately, we're missing GPU components to repair him. Back to topic. This is a mysterious place. The area contains portals to visit a variety of different biomes. You should get in touch with our researchers in the different areas. I'm sure they'd appreciate your help. Besides that, we're in talks with traders that are interested in selling goods in our base. Unfortunately, they'd like something in exchange first before they want to do business with us. They seem to be interested in some sort of artifacts that can be found in the different biomes. I think if you manage to find 3 in each biome, we can get a bunch of traders on board of our exploration team. Might be useful for your adventure. Anyway, that's all the information I have for you at the moment. Have fun exploring!
So I do not have much intentions of hunting down anything, but I was still excited to explore all of the biomes talked about here and see exactly what this world had to offer. So I finally made it outside, and I have to say that at first glance it did not look too bad. I thought that I did a relatively good job with this biome, and when first looking at it, a good judging measurement for me is always the water reflections, which in this case looked fine. They obviously went for the outer world kind of look with weird animals, but just in terms of RTX alone, it looked about on par with what I am used to from Nvidia. Now
New
I did
artifact
manage to
found.
track down at
Sending
least
sample to
one of
base.
the artifacts, but as I have said previously, I am more interested in exploring rather than finding. In a more holistic view of the world though, I have to say it definitely looked good, although I am not sure if it was the ray tracing effects or just the bright colors that they used to build up this world.
New artifact found. Sending sample to base.
Now yeah, I did skip ahead and take a look at the night, as I thought it was during this time that the world would really come to life. The natural rays of the sun might be great, but nothing beats the moonlight. Now in this world there was no exception, and everything looked so much better, in large part due to the clever block selection. Obviously they were using their own version of glowstone to light up the world, but since our measurement for judging is light and light sources, they did do a really great job. I played further and finally reached a new biome, and with it came an all new opportunity to explore ray tracing effects. Although the world looked very boring at first glance, it was the below area that I was the most interested in.
Hello, Explorer. You arrived at the perfect time. Beautiful day for a swim, isn't it? We've discovered something below the water surface, but no one wanted to jump into the freezing lake yet. Take this mask. It will help you breathe underwater. Good luck. Oh, and stay away from the sharks.
It was this part that I was the most excited about, as I always feel like the underwater has the most potential in terms of visuals. Maybe they are a close second to caves, but I think the point still stands here, as there is plenty that you can do to lighten up the underwater world. In this specific case, they definitely did a good job, at least in terms of what it is. The underwater world here itself might be bland and there is not too much going on, but they did a good job using neon lights to brighten up the place. They also did a good job with the shadows. There were some parts that were completely dark and others that struck the perfect balance between the light and the shadows. Now I am glad that they did not use a bunch of colorful blocks to create the illusion that things are looking much better than they actually did. They used all of the natural blocks of the world and the rays to lighten up the world, but in a completely normal way. I also finally once again made it to a completely new biome, and here the goal was very clear. It was one of those cases where you could see exactly what Nvidia were trying to go for, and that was to showcase how RTX can look, and they did do a really good job here, even if it isn't too realistic. The truth is that what you are seeing here will obviously not be present or a realistic experience when it comes to a normal RTX survival world. With that said though, I did still really enjoy the view.
Oh, hi Explorer! These crystals are amazing, aren't they? We've discovered a strange structure deep inside the caves. We're not sure who built it, but it looks like it was the cause for the strange minerals spreading in these caverns. Would you mind checking it out? Just follow the crystals, get past some spider-like creatures, and you should find it. Now go! We're not here to stand around!
Now I did do a little bit more exploring and also found a few other biomes as well, but honestly it was just more or less the same, just with a few other colors. Now I did think overall that the RTX effects present on this map were okay, but it is also completely unrealistic and it will never be in vanilla RTX Minecraft. The playthrough left nothing to be desired in my opinion, and I definitely do not think that I will be returning to this world.